What is up, you guys? Namicon here, bringing you my perspective as to what entertainment is bringing us, and welcome to another discussion video. And today we'll be discussing how the European Championship is going to go, the 2024 edition. And this is kind of a follow up to the 2024 Copa America video that I did. I like again. I rarely make soccer slash football videos, but like the Copa America, this is a tournament where I feel is going to be pretty hard to ignore. Although not as hard as the Copa America, since that one's going to be in the U.S., whereas the European Championship is going to be in Germany. But I still feel this is going to be a pretty significant one either way. And I will not be doing this alone. I'll be doing it with two other people. And the first person I'll be introducing is someone who has an expert ball knowledge, and his name is Scooter. How are you doing today?
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of, of course, Scooter. Great to have you here. And the second person I'll be introducing is a fellow content creator and a fellow music critic. And she also follows a lot of footy as well. Her name is CA Gaming. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me on for this.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, for those that are outside of Europe, some of you that are saying, what is the European Championship? Well, this is the second. The European Championship is the second most prestigious soccer tournament, after right after the World Cup, of course. But this is where the best of Europe go and play. This is where almost every single European nation pulls up and go and play their hearts out on any European country. And in this instance, this chip this this European Championship will be played in Germany. Germany is one of the most historical countries in in football. They have won four World Cups, and I think they have won two Euros. I believe they might have won more than they might have won more than two. I could be wrong, but but the as of the making of this video, the European Championship that is happening in Germany is starting in like 2 weeks. So get excited, folks. And with that out of the way, let's start with the group stages. Starting with Group A. So this I unlike the Copa America, I'm kind of going in this blind because I'm not as familiar with the European international footy. So I'm gonna take this with how the players are doing in their retrospective clubs, and how the if how good their word of mouth is in their country. So I'm kind of going in this blind. So for Group A, I have Deutschland first because they're the host Nate because they are the host nation. I am certain that the whole country is gonna back them up, similar to how they backed them up in the 2006 World Cup. And yes, they're currently kind of in shambles, but do do keep in mind they were also in shambles before the 2006 World Cup, and they had an historical one run where they went third place in the semis. So I have a feeling that they might have a similar run over here, but Germany have fantastic players. We got the Tony Cruz is coming back with what is going to be his last international tournament because he has announced his retirement for not only for Germany but for Real Madrid. And there's Manuel Neuer. He's still a clutch goalkeeper, still a goat. Uh, I think Thomas Muller has called up as well. He's still a fantastic player, and we got some new blood: Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, uh, Nicholas Fulkrug. They still have Germany still has a lot of talent. They, if Nagelsmann keep if Nagelsmann puts the right pieces, they will be title contenders. And in second place, I have Hungary. And the reason I put in Hungary as second place is because they're having a very good run so far. The honestly, so the only player that I know from Hungary is Dominic Szoboszlai from Liverpool. He's doing very well over there, and they're on an unbeaten streak. So as far as I know, so if they can continue this streak, I think they will go far. My third pick, kind of a hot take, is Scotland. So Scotland, they're this is my the for this group so far. They're kind of my wild card picks because they one at a time they will do well, and another time they will do shite. And but that doesn't mean that they do not have notable players because they do. There's obviously Scott McTominay from Manchester United. I think there's also McGinn. Uh, there's a couple of notable players as well, but they do keep in mind in Euro qualifiers they have beaten Spain. At although they didn't do well in the last international window. I do have a feeling that they will bounce back. So enough of my ramblings. Let's go into how Scooter predicts his group A. All right, Scooter, go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually think of all the groups, this one could be the most chaotic. At first place, I have Germany, mainly due to the fact that it appears Julian Nagelsmann has sort of stabilized the ship a little bit, in addition to them having, honestly, amongst the top four most talented rosters in the entire tournament. Julian Wirtz was the Bundesliga Player of the Year this year. Uh, Schlotterbeck has been pivotal for Dortmund on their way to the UCL final, and Rudiger remains one of the best center backs in the world. And then obviously, yeah, with Tony Cruz coming back, adding Leroy Sané, Musiala, all of these names to this group, I do believe they will be first. Although, uh, that being said, they're going to be challenged very difficultly, and I would not be surprised if they actually do not finish first, because there's a lot of other good teams in this group. In number two, I have Switzerland. A lot of people are kind of doubting on them right now, mainly due to the fact that their qualification process they dropped a few games and looked a little bit questionable. But these guys have been here before. They're always a tough out, unless apparently you're Portugal in the last tournament in the World Cup. But they always make the knockout rounds and always seem to pull through at least in the group stage. So I have them second. They'll also be boistered with Mbolo coming back and Xhaka having such a good year at Leverkusen. In third, I have Hungary. So they have a very sneaky good team. And as was alluded to before, they're kind of on a run of sorts. Now, I do think they're sort of the type of team where they're really good at parking the bus. So they're a lot better at playing teams that are better than them than teams around their own level, if that makes sense. But luckily for them, almost all of the teams that they'll be playing in this tournament have more talent than them on paper. That being said, yeah, with the likes of Schloboslai, Roland Soloy for Freiburg, Daniel Gazdak, who is DP in MLS, they actually do have a lot of talent, and I do expect them to get out of this group in one of the third spots. And then fourth, I have Scotland, and honestly, no slight to them. They're a very good team, but they just got put in a really difficult group, in my opinion. So that is my prediction.
I actually forgot about talking about Switzerland. Honestly, they have not been. I have not been impressed with them honestly. So yes, granted, Shaka has been amazing with Leverkusen, but I haven't heard any. I haven't heard much of other players. But besides Shakiri, but he's not been too great with the Chicago Fire. So um, yeah, that's why I had them last because I have not been impressed with them lately. So yeah, that's my stance with Group A. All right, CA Gaming. How did you predict your how did you predict Group A?
I honestly have it the same as Scooter. I think Germany's going to top it, Switzerland in second, Hungary third, Scotland fourth. I don't think any of these, from what I've heard of the players, are bad teams, but Germany has like a lot of the talent that I've seen recently, and Switzerland has some. Hungary is on a good run, but I don't know if they have, like, aside from a couple that I'm aware of, I'm not sure. And then Scotland, I'm not super familiar with, so it's more a lack of familiarity that I'm putting them bottom of
Oh,
Group A.
okay, fair enough. All right, let's go to Group A. Group B. This is deemed the group of death from a lot of people. So let's see how I will put this. So Group B is Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. So I have Spain topping this group because there's so much talent. I cannot see them topping this group. I cannot see them not topping this group. David Raya, Ferdinand Torres, uh, there's there's Fermin Lopez, there's Paul Kubasi, yeah, Alvaro Morata, the, yeah, there, yeah, and then there's Pedri as well. He's yeah. Notice that some of the players that I'm listing are Barcelona players. Yeah, there lot of these players play for Barcelona, and they've been excellent for the club. And I'm so happy that Xavi gave them a chance because if not, they would have not been called up for the national team. So yeah, the talent is there. There's so much talent there. So I I do see them topping the group. As for second, I have um, I have Italy. You cannot predict how Italy's gonna go on this group. So I might this might be my this is just out of the loop pick. So but they do have some pretty good players. Chiesa, Cam, Cambiaso. I would have said Tonali, but he's banned from playing the European Championship because of his gambling problems. Uh, and then there's Donnarumma. He is a fantastic goalkeeper. I'm sure that I'm sure he's gonna keep the Italians in check. As for third place, I'm going with Albania because it's not because I have watched them. I have not watched them, but from what I've heard from word of mouth, they have been very good. So they a lot so there are some people that have them as dark horses for going far in the tournament, but I don't know any notable players on Albania, but from what I'm hearing, they do have they're a team that's very difficult to play against. So that's why I have them in third place. And fourth place, I have Croatia because honestly, their best players they're getting old. Luka, I know that Luka Modric, he's still fantastic. He's still a fantastic player, but like, yeah, the thing is, he's not getting any younger. He's dude is almost in his 40s. So I do think I don't think Croatia can rely on Modric for so. You can only rely on Modric for so long. And their best player is Josko Gvardio, but he's been making some pretty big he's been making some pretty big mistakes recently. Yeah, and as recently as a few days ago with the FA Cup final for Manchester City versus Manchester United, where Manchester scored on City because of Gvardio making a mistake. So yeah, if hey HRV Isaac, if you're watching this somehow, sorry, I have to put them in last place because yeah, I don't see them going. I don't see them going through. All right, Scooter. How do you think Group B is going to stand?
So I agree with you. Spain will be first. They by far have the most talent in this group. And now that they have another established center back to put along Laporte,
Laporte.
I believe that should solve a few of their issues at the back. And then again, I know a lot of people have been ragging on Morata, saying he's not a good enough striker, but he usually delivers for Spain, at least more than people like to believe. That's who I have at number one. Italy, ironically enough, I have at number two. I do think they're being somewhat slept on because not a lot of people watch Serie A. They have a very similar makeup in terms of the talent of their roster to the previous Euros that they won. They're just do not have the same level of experience. So while I don't think they'll win, I do think they can cause problems. I have Croatia at number three. I'm with you that they are aging and have not really shown very well recently, but they do have enough surrounding talent to make it out. And Modric, even if he is 40, is still so dependable and so great that I have to believe in him. And then Albania, I would not be surprised if they pull a draw against any one of these teams or even snag a win if they're not careful. But I think at the end of the day, it's just a little bit too big of a challenge for them.
Okay, fair enough. All right, CA Gaming. How do you think Group B is going to go?
I'm yet again agreeing with Scooter here. Spain in first, Italy second, Croatia third, Albania fourth. Spain has a bunch of talent, so does Italy. And I know that Modric is aging, but he is still great. And I do believe that Croatia still have some talent as well. Like, I know, I believe one of Croatia's, wait, no, that's Serbia. I got the goalkeeper confused, but I know Croatia have a lot of talent still. And then Albania, I just don't know too much about them like I didn't with Scotland. And I could definitely be wrong, but I am not sure if they'll go higher than fourth or at least third.
Okay. All right, let's go to Group C. Okay, let's get this out of the way. England is topping the group. There is absolutely no way they are not topping this group. They're they're by far the most talented. They have by far the most stacked squad out of all these three countries. They're the three outer countries. Yeah, there's Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden. Let's see here, Ollie Watkins. Yeah, etc. And then yeah, John Stones, Kyle Walker. What more can say? There is no way they are not topping this group. It's especially since those three of these countries, with all due respect, they're not in the same lane as England, talent wise. As for second place, I think it could go either way. Honestly, yeah, it's pretty much hot potato. Honestly, it could be either one of the three countries, but I would probably say I would probably say Denmark mainly because of Rasmus Højlund. Manchester United fan here, so he's he's been cut. He's been coming up in clutch for Manchester United. Let's hope he does the same for Denmark. And third place, I have Serbia. Um, they do have some notable players that are playing in top five leagues. Forgot forgot some of their players' names, but I do know a couple of them. As for Slovenia, um, yeah, I believe this is their first time actually being in the European Championship. So, but that while great, I don't see them getting a result in this group. So that's it. So all right, Scooter, how do you think Group C is going to go?
So I actually think this could end up being a very interesting group with a lot of chaos involved. I do agree that England will get first and have by far the most talent in this group. In fact, I would argue England are pretty easily one of the top three rosters in this overall competition in terms of talent. I think they get first place, but it could very easily be 7 points or even five if they're not careful and they don't show up to play. Second, I actually have Slovenia. Their roster is definitely the least talented of all of these four, but they do have Jan Oblak, who, if you watch a lot of Champions League, I guarantee you that your team has had your heart broken by Atletico Madrid at least once, and he part of the reason why he's pretty easily a top five goalie in the world for me, and is just incredible. They also have Sheshko up top, who honestly could be the next big thing. He's been really hot for Leipzig at the end of the year, uh, and so in third, I have Denmark. They have Hoyland, like you said. They have Pierre Emil Højbjerg at Tottenham. They have Yusuf Poulsen, lots of different dudes. But I do think as a squad, they're sort of aging and not going into this tournament nearly as hot as they were 4 years ago. So I still think that they get out of this group, but I think it's only in third. And then Serbia, they do have a lot of big names, but they're either, getting up in age like Dusan Tadic or Filip Kostic, who are both, north of 30. And then a lot of their other players are currently playing in Saudi Arabia, so I haven't really been exposed to a high level of competition recently, being Mitrovic and Milinkovic Savic. Plus, also, they just don't. This is their first time even qualifying for the Euros, and for whatever reason, some nations just play better at World Cups than Euros and vice versa. So I have them in fourth. I'm not really a big believer in them.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, CA Gaming, how do you think Group C is going to go?
I think England are number one in this group. I think they're probably favorites to go far as well. They have Kane, they have Palmer, they have Walker, they have so much talent. They are like, there is some slight Chelsea bias there because of Palmer, but even otherwise, I just think they have so much talent on the team. I have Denmark second. They have a lot of talent as well, even if it's aging. Serbia third. I'm not super familiar with their team, other than one of their goalkeepers is the current goalkeeper for Chelsea, and he has been basically saving our season for the most part. And or at least he saved our season before it ended for the most part. Other than him and Cole Palmer basically helped save the season because Sanchez was ass when he played for us this season. And then Slovenia, again, another lack of familiarity, bottom placement.
All right, let's go to Group D. All right, another one, another easy choice. France is topping this group. They're similar to England. Their group is stacked. We got Kylian Mbappe, Mike Mignon, Aurelien Chouameni, Eduardo Camavinga, Ferland Mendy, Barcola, Zaire Emery. Yeah, there's no way France is not topping this group. There's just no way. I will be shocked if they are second in this group. That's how stacked this squad is. And also, while Also, Olivier Giroud and Antoine Griezmann, while they're aging, they are still they are still great for the French. So yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that France is topping this group. Second place, I have Austria. Austria have been in an unbeaten streak as far as I know. They've been in several top countries. I think they beat Germany at one point. So that's pretty significant. And and I've been aware that Bayern Munich was trying to get their head coach, which I think that I don't know if that means Bayern is down bad or the coach is high the Austrian coach is high quality. But yeah, I have Austria in second place. Third place, I have Netherlands. Um, from what I've been hearing, they're not doing too well. And under Koeman. So and so they do have good players, but some yeah I don't know. Some from what I'm hearing, something's not clicking. I do think they're gonna go through to the round 16. There's still a lot of talent. Xavi Simmons, Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo. Yeah, there's still talent there. Poland, bro, I feel so bad for Lewandowski, dude. I feel so bad for Lewandowski and Chesney, bro. Poland sucks, bro. They really suck. I just can't see them winning this group. I just can't. I'm sorry. All right, Scooter. How do you think Group D is gonna go?
This is actually again a very strong group. Bar Poland, like you were saying. Definitely a bit of a Poland hater. So first, I do have France. I don't think they're going into this tournament with as much talent as the previous two, but it's still easily a top two roster in this tournament, and I would be surprised if they don't make the final at minimum. In addition to that, they do have a lot of recent experience playing both Poland and the Dutch, and have beaten them pretty convincingly in both times. So I have them at first, although I do think my second place team, being the Dutch, uh, could beat them or at least draw them if they are fully healthy. My issue with the Dutch, as someone who watches them a lot, is for a like large, national team, they have a lot of like high end talent, but it's very concentrated in their defense, and they're not deep. So, like for example, Frankie De Jong is questionable for this tournament because he suffered an ankle injury, and if they do have someone like Frankie De Jong, who they did not have in the previous two games they played against France in qualifying, they're absolutely able to put up a very strong challenge. But if they don't, then this team could honestly even get fourth. Uh, but I do have them at second. It just depends on how many of their players are healthy. And then Koeman was their coach previously and got a lot out of them. The second stint has been a lot more mixed. Some good games, some bad games. So we'll see how that goes. Third, I have Austria. They are in really good form. As was being alluded to earlier, I'm a Bayern fan, and we were looking at Ralph Ragnick. I don't think he would have been a very good fit personally, but he's done a great job with Austria, and they have a midfield in Leimer and Sabitzer who very functional. Maybe not the most creative, but they'll outrun any team, and they're technical enough that they can still cause problems, especially on the break. Uh, I have them in third. They easily could be in second, and they're a team that could cause problems once they get to the knockout round. Uh, in fourth, I have Poland. I'm very out on them. They lost to Moldova during qualifying. They barely made it. They qualified over Wales despite not getting a single shot on target and winning on penalties. Only reason I do think they actually have a chance to cause problems for other teams in this group is because Chesney is typically brilliant for Poland, and I can see them pulling off a parked bus in a game or two and causing some problems. But overall, that there's nothing in terms of recent results that demonstrates they can do anything. So I have them in fourth.
Yep, same. Poland's in shambles, basically. All right, CA Gaming. How do you think Group D is going to go?
Yet again, I have the same order as Scooter. France in first. We know they have Mbappe. They have a ton of other talent. They have Giroud, Eden. They just have so much talent. In second, I have the Netherlands. They have a lot of talent as well, even if it's mostly in the defense. I still feel like they have enough talent in other areas as well that they can make it through. Austria, I'm not super familiar with, but from what I've heard about them, I think they'll just make it out. And Poland, they're not great right now. If this were in like 2020, when Lewa would have won the Ballon d'Or, if the Ballon d'Or was a thing, if this were then, I would say they could get out. But this is not then. I don't think they're getting out.
Yep. Yep. All right. Let's go to Group B. I think Belgium is going to top this group, no question. They have by far the most talented group out of this. They have Kevin De Bruyne. Despite him not getting any younger, he's still fantastic for Manchester City. So I have no doubt he will contribute. I have no doubt he will contribute a lot for his country in the tournament. Uh, Courtois. I don't. Yeah, he has been suffering from a long-standing injury, but he's still a very quality goalkeeper. I do believe that he will. He will show. I do believe he will show up. There's still some there's still some young. They got quite a bit of young guys. Jeremy Doku, Manchester City, Trossard from Arsenal. They've been very good for their clubs. So I do have a feeling they will pull up for their country. So I have Belgium topping the group. Second place, I have Ukraine, and it's mainly for Mikhailo Mudryk. But Mudryk has been pretty shite for Chelsea. He's been very good for Ukraine. And if I was Ukrainian, I would be very happy about that. So if he comes in clutch for Ukraine in this tournament, I do think Ukraine will go second place. Um they're as for the other two, I think it could go either way. I'm not familiar with these two countries, so if I had to take a wild guess, I'll say Slovakia third and Romania fourth. All right, Scooter, how do you think Group B is going to go?
So typically these tournaments usually do not go to chalk. And while I do think Belgium is somewhat being slept on, I actually have Ukraine first. Mudryk, like you said, has been killing it for the national team, even if he's been a little bit shaky for Chelsea. In addition, I unfortunately am horrific at pronouncing this man's name, but the striker at Girona who just won the La Liga Golden Boot is there as well and is in this team. And the other reason I just like Ukraine is they're battle tested. They've had to go through World Cup qualification playoffs recently. They had to play England and Italy in their qualifying group, and performed well against both, and then looked really good in the Euro qualifying playoffs as well. So I actually have them in first. I have Belgium in second. Again, they still have lots of talent, and they actually have a little bit of new talent in Openda. Trossard will be, kind of a more, central figure in this team compared to past teams. And then you've still got Courtois and De Bruyne. I have Slovakia in third. They've done well in the past at Euros and managed to get out. Although not at the last one, but two times ago they managed to get out. And then Romania, they did very well in qualifying, but I don't know. Again, admittedly, do not know as much about Romania, but when I have seen them get to major tournaments in the past, I have not really been impressed. So I have them in fourth.
Okay. How about you, CA Gaming? How do you think Group B is going to go?
I have Belgium in first. I mean, KDB, the other talents that are in the team, I think they are pretty handily getting out. Ukraine, their striker, Mudryk, just like them in second. Romania in third, and Slovakia in fourth, and I don't know much about those two. That's honestly just mostly guessing, but that's what I have.
Okay, and now let's go to Group F. Another easy one. Portugal's topping this group. There's no way they are not topping this group. We
Mhm.
okay. Rafa Leao, João Felix, João Cancelo. There's and of course the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo. They they are do you realize how stacked this Portuguese squad is? This is probably one of the best Portuguese squad in a long time. But this is probably the most talented Portuguese squad since like the 2006 World Cup. Like, yeah, there's no way, there's no way they're not topping this group unless somehow, some way, Roberto Martinez decides to choke. But yeah, and also Gonzalo Ramos as well. He's I don't know how well he's been doing with PSG, but he, this is a very talented Portuguese squad. Just saying. Uh, third, I mean second. I have Turkey. Um, they have some pretty good players, but the main one I'm thinking about right now is Arda Güler from Real Madrid. He is a bench player, but my God, this dude comes in clutch whenever he gets subbed in. So I do think he's a player that people need to watch on. As for third place, I have Georgia, and I had that's only for one reason. Kivica from Napoli. Dude is dude is a very good player for Napoli. So yeah, do I see Georgia going to the round of 16? I mean the the quarterfinals. Sorry, I'm sorry, the round of 16. No, not really. I don't think so. But hey, they. I think I think Kivica alone will make Georgia a formidable opponent. All right, Scooter, how do you think Group F is going to go?
So in first, I have Portugal as well. Yeah, they just have an absurd amount of talent. Honestly, maybe even more than like France right now. I do think England has a little bit more than them. Uh, that being said, yeah, Roberto Martinez. I know he's kind of known as a choker, but he's also been shown that he can get teams to play well. In addition, I mean, I know everyone looks at the Belgium golden generation, but they very easily could have won that 2018 World Cup with a little bit more luck on their side. Uh, I think they're going to play very well. In second, I have Turkey as well. I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant about them due to the last Euros, but at least in my opinion, you know they're domestic players that play for Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, like Ataturglu, are much better this go around, and you have Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Özcan for Dortmund, so they have a little bit more talent, and I think it's more stable than previous times. In third, I actually have the Czech Republic. Pretty similar team to the last Euros where they did pretty well, but just a little bit older. Patrick Schick is still an effective center forward, but he's not as good as he was 4 years ago. So I have them in third, and then I have Georgia in fourth. It should be a fun team to watch, and would love to see them do well. But I think it will be Cavaradonna, as they like to call him, against the world, and it'll just be a little bit too much this time.
All right, CA Gaming, how do you think Group F is going to go?
I have Portugal in first. They have tons of talent. They have Rafael Leao. They have like a like Leao alone is great. They have a lot of other talent as well. And then in second, I have Turkey, Arda Güler, a couple other players are absolutely great. I feel like they could make it out. Georgia, Croatia is great for Napoli, even though Napoli have been struggling in this area since like they struggled in this area this season. But I still think he's a fantastic player, and they have some good players, other good players as well. Czech Republic, I'm not like super familiar with them either, but I think they do have some good talent, but I don't know if they'll get out.
Okay, let's go to the third place rankings. Hmm, this is pretty. This is actually pretty difficult. Not gonna lie. Okay. So I think Netherlands will go through. Um, I think maybe I might pick Albania. Um, Scotland and Georgia. I and you, Scooter. Uh, Scooter for third place ranking.
Sorry. So I have Hungary, Croatia, Denmark, and Austria as my teams going through, with Slovakia and the Czech Republic getting eliminated at this stage.
Yeah, yeah, I have Slovakia and Serbia getting eliminated. How about your CA Gaming?
I have Croatia, Serbia, Hungary, and Austria going through, with Georgia and Romania getting grouped, or not grouped, getting eliminated.
All right, let's go to the round of 16. So I have so for me it's Germany versus Denmark. Germany's gonna go through. Uh, Hungary versus Italy. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. I might choose Italia on this. Spain versus Netherlands. I have Spain. England versus Georgia. England. Uh, Portugal versus Albania. Portugal. Austria versus Ukraine. I think I'll go with Austria. Belgium versus Scotland. I have Belgium. And France versus Turkey. Yeah, France. All right, Scooter, go ahead. How do you think the round of 16 is going to
Alrighty, I don't have anything too crazy, although my first matchup is probably my craziest. So my first round of 16 matchup, I have Spain versus Hungary. And actually, I'm going to go with Hungary for this matchup. Hungary have shown in both the previous Euros and the most recent Nations League that they are very good at getting results against teams that are better than them. And Spain has classically demonstrated that they choke at knockout round stages of tournaments and struggle to beat low blocks. So I think this will be Hungary. Uh, in the next game, I have Germany versus Slovenia. I think Germany wins this one pretty convincingly, probably by 2 goals at least. Next, I have Portugal Denmark. I think Portugal is very good at beating teams at that level that's like right below them, kind of like what they did to Switzerland in the World Cup. I think that's a win for Portugal. Next game, I have Netherlands Belgium. I have the Netherlands. They've typically owned this rivalry. It will be very fun to see how that goes if it happens at such a big stage. Next, I have Ukraine Croatia. I'm actually going with Ukraine here. Croatia are in a bit of a slide and usually don't actually do that well at Euros. They're one of those teams that's awesome at World Cups and doesn't always go so great at the Euros. So I have Ukraine. I have France versus Turkey. I think that will be kind of a bloodbath. Uh, then I have England, Austria. I have England, but I think it'll go to penalties. Austria will give them a really good fight, especially because I don't think England will be ready for it. And then I have Switzerland versus Italy. I've got Italy. And that is my round of 16.
go? All right, CA Gaming, how's your round of 16 going to go?
I have Switzerland versus Italy. I think Italy go through. Spain versus Hungary. I think Spain go through. England versus Austria. I think England go through. Portugal versus Serbia. Portugal go through. Netherlands versus Ukraine. As much as I want to see Mudryk go through, I think Netherlands are going through there. Belgium, Croatia. I think Belgium, and then France, Turkey. Easily France.
All right, let's move on to the quarterfinals. All right, Germany versus Spain. Oh, this is a dicey one. Okay, this is probably the toughest one of the four I have. Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Oh God, that's so. I'll come back to this one. Portugal versus Austria. I'm going to pick Portugal on this one. Uh, Belgium versus France. I got France going through on this one. And England versus Italy. Oh, yes, the rematch. I think this time England will win this. It, and okay, I think I made my decision on Germany versus Spain. I got Germany. The home field advantage is going to be too big for them to fail. All right, Scooter. How do you think the quarterfinals is going to go through?
Cool. So for my first game, I have Hungary versus Germany. This is actually a really spicy one. Hungary are one of the few teams historically that actually have a winning record against Germany, and that even proceeds to recently, where they beat Germany in the Nations League and then drew them both in the Nations League and in the Euros. Um, I think logic actually probably says Hungary here, but I'm going to go with Germany due to my Bayern bias. Next, I have Portugal, Netherlands. I actually think on paper the Dutch could cause Portugal some challenge, but Portugal just honestly has had the Dutch's number at the turn of the century. Just a team the Dutch can't seem to beat. So I'm going with Portugal. I have Ukraine, France. Should actually be a very good game, but I'll go with France. And then England, Italy again. I think England gets one back on Italy this time. Wins around 2-1.
All right, CA Gaming. How do you think the quarters are going to go through?
Germany, Spain. I think Spain's going to win it. Portugal, Netherlands. I think Portugal are going to win, and I don't know if it's going to be easily, but it might be. France versus Belgium. I think France are going to win easily. And England versus Italy. I think Harry Kane's going to be out for blood, and they're going to demolish Italy.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, the semis. Oh God, the semis. God damn. All right, Germany versus Portugal. Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Both of the matches that I have in the semis, these could go either way. It, okay. Once again, due to the home field advantage, I might give this to Deutschland winning against Portugal. As for France versus England, oh my God, this is like the toughest one. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I okay. This is actually very difficult because their squad is equally stacked. Uh, God damn. I'm giving this to France. All right, Scooter. How are you gonna go with the semis?
Yeah, so Germany Portugal will be a great game. Both these teams kind of have been a little bodily in recent times. They have the Spurs gene. Although in 2016, obviously Portugal had the opposite of that and won the whole thing. Germany does have the home field advantage, and I would not blame anyone for picking them at all. But I think at this stage of the tournament, Germany's going to lack a little bit of of overall physicality and grit, and I think Portugal is able to take this one due to the sheer amount of firepower they have. And then for France, England, like you said, very close game. And I actually think if England is ever going to do it and win, this is the tournament. But that being said, under Southgate, they've demonstrated that they're really good at destroying like second tier teams. Like what they did against Iran and Senegal and teams like that in the World Cup was super impressive. Uh, and those sort of teams don't usually challenge them, but they haven't shown that they can beat, their true peers when it comes to the highest of the high at the international level. So I have France.
Okay, how about you, CA Gaming? How do you think the semis will go?
I think Spain against Portugal, Spain go through potentially. And France against England, oh, this is a hard one. But again, I feel like Kane's going to be out for blood and he's going to win.
All right, all right. So my final round is Germany versus France. Um, I do think that the Germans are going to run their course in this run because uh, France's squad is way too stacked. I think their squad is going to overwhelm them. I think the French squad is going to overwhelm the Germans, and I have France winning the whole tournament. All right, Scooter. How do you think the final's going to go through?
So I have Portugal, France. I think France is going to want revenge on Portugal for 2016. I actually do think France was probably the best team at the last Euros, and frankly, just had it against Switzerland and let their eye go off the ball. And I don't think that will happen again. I think they take it here, but should be a fun game either way.
All right, CA Gaming. How do you think the final one's going to go through?
So my final is Spain versus England. And honestly, if Southgate gets his act together and the team gets this far, I think England's going to win it all. I think that the Kane curse is going to be over at some point, and if it's going to be over at any time internationally, it's going to be now.
Yeah, yeah. If the Kane curse is gonna be over, it has to be this tournament. It's going to be this tournament. Their squad, the England squad, cannot be as stacked as it was as ever before. So if they have to win the Euros, now's a good time. And I pray to God that Gareth Southgate does not choke. But unfortunately, I have the French winning this because good God, their squad, they're a fucking squad, man. All right, that settles it for the 2024 European Championship. I'm personally more excited for La Copa America. The European Championship is not going to be a slouch. I'm gonna watch a couple of the matches over there. I'm definitely gonna watch the opening match. Yeah, that I will not miss. It's going to be Germany versus Scotland for those that are wondering. So, so, uh, thank for those of you that are still here. Thank you guys so much for continuing to watch this video and support me. So I'm gonna give the socials to each of these guys. And so starting with Scooter, where can people find you?
Oh yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Scotty Fishy Boy. I don't really tweet that often from there. I guess you can find me on Discord as well. Join the Deadball Discord if you're interested in that. Although if you're a Mexico fan, I may have to tease you a little bit.
uh, uh, yeah, yeah, same here. For fans of La Selección, I might do some a little bit of trolling. So, be on the lookout. And as for you, CA Gaming, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at CA Gaming, Twitch at CA18504, and TikTok at Casey_A18504.
All right, you guys. As for me, you can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and Backlog down in the description down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And then I'll see you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'll see you guys next time.